Liverpool boss Jurgen Klopp has demanded that the Premier League game between Tottenham and Liverpool is replayed. Darren England will keep his job but will not officiate any Liverpool games for the rest of this season. International call-ups for midfielder Pierre-Emile Højbjerg and Tottenham Hotspur captain HeungMin Son. Reports are stating that Manor Solomon will now be out for at least 2 to 3 months. And Destiny Udogie has come out and said that the gaffer shows us how to play and how to stay calm under pressure.
Chris Cowlin. Fan cams. Club news. Transfer news. Match previews. Legend interviews. Spurs winning. Press conferences. Covering everything Tottenham and England.
Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all keeping well. This is another edition of Tottenham News where I'll be going through all the latest Spurs news, rumours and reports. If you're watching this on YouTube, please do hit that subscribe button, like, share and comment below. And if you're listening to this on an audio platform, please do hit that follow button and leave a review if you can. So let's start by talking about a couple of international call-ups concerning Tottenham Hotspur players. HeungMin Son has been named in South Korea's squad for their international friendlies later this month. Captain of his nation, Sonny, will join up with his countrymen next week ahead of 2 friendlies, beginning with the visit of Tunisia at the Seoul World Cup Stadium on Friday the 13th of October. They will then host Vietnam on Tuesday the 17th of October. Sonny has 113 caps and 37 goals to his name for his country going into the break. Spurs midfielder Pierre-Emile Højbjerg has been named in Denmark's squad ahead of their October Euro 2024 qualifiers. The midfielder, who has been involved in all bar one of our matches this season and recently made his 150th appearance for the club, will join up with his nation next week as they prepare for qualifying clashes with Kazakhstan on Saturday the 14th of October and San Marino on Tuesday the 17th of October. Denmark currently sits second in qualifying Group H, but are only kept off top spot on goals scored as they are level on points accumulated and goal difference with group leaders Slovenia. Pierre-Emile Højbjerg goes into the international break with 69 caps and 7 goals to his name, his latest 2 strikes coming in the last 2 outings for his country. Tottenham Hotspur left-back Destiny Udogie has been talking about Ange Postecoglou and has stated Ange and his staff work really well together. We trust the manager. The way he makes us train shows us how to play and how to stay calm under pressure. Destiny Udogie then went on to say, I think every manager teaches you something new and the gaffer is teaching me how to play inside more, so I'm getting used to it and developing a lot. We train hard every day, so we want to be able to run more than the other teams. We try to be fit, so if we lose the ball, we are ready to counter-press the opponent, and this is something that the gaffer wants from us as players. So we have to keep the strong spirit and work hard every day. The Metro newspaper have just reported that referee Darren England will not lose his job following his high-profile VAR blunder at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, but he will not officiate Liverpool for the rest of the season. The 37-year-old was on VAR duty for Saturday's evening kick-off and mistakenly disallowed Luis Diaz's opening goal in Liverpool's 2-1 defeat, despite identifying that the Colombian was onside. Now, various reports published on this story. This one is from the Evening Standard, and it states that Manor Solomon injury, Tottenham sweat over winger amid fears of lengthy layoff. Israeli forward has impressed at Spurs, but now faces spell on sidelines. The report states that Tottenham are assessing Manor Solomon to determine how long the winger will be out after he suffered a knee injury. The 24-year-old came off the bench in the win over Liverpool at the weekend and has been widely praised for his impact in North London following a free transfer arrival in the summer. However, it is understood that he has suffered an injury in training. Spurs are currently assessing Solomon and are yet to discover the full extent of the issue amid reports that he is set for an extended spell on the sidelines. Injuries are slowly mounting for Ange Postecoglou, who contended with knocks affecting James Maddison and HeungMin Son before both started the match against Liverpool. Brennan Johnson is a doubt for the weekend's game at Luton due to a hamstring issue, while Ryan Sessegnon is back in light training after summer surgery on his hamstring. Ivan Perisic is out long term, while Rodrigo Bentancur, Brian Hill and Giovanni Lo Celso are also currently unavailable. The Daily Mail have also reported on Manor Solomon, and they are stating that Spurs forward Manor Solomon sidelined for at least 2 months after suffering a serious knee injury, delivering a blow to Ange Postecoglou's side after their fast start. It then states that Tottenham forward Manor Solomon will miss a minimum of 2 months after suffering a serious knee injury. In this report, it says that Manor Solomon has made 6 appearances since his arrival in the summer. It then goes on to say that the 24-year-old featured in Tottenham's 2-1 victory against Liverpool on Saturday, coming on to play 22 minutes in place of HeungMin Son. He joins a growing injury list at the North London club that includes new signing Brennan Johnson and midfielder Rodrigo Bentancur. Last season, Manor Solomon also suffered a knee injury while the former Shakhtar Donetsk winger was on loan with Fulham. The setback came during a behind-closed-doors match and required surgery, ruling the Israel international out for the first 3 months of the 2022-2023 season. He returned to play for Marco Silva's side after the Qatar World Cup, going on to make 24 appearances for Fulham last season before moving to Tottenham. The Independent newspaper have just reported that Jurgen Klopp calls for Spurs v Liverpool replay after VAR error. It is unprecedented, the Liverpool boss said. Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp has called for their match against Spurs to be replayed due to the glaring VAR error which cost them the opening goal. Fallout from the VAR failure in Saturday's 2-1 defeat, in which officials wrongly disallowed Luis Diaz's goal due to a misunderstanding of the on-field decision, is still dominating discussions among football fans. The Premier Game Match Officials Limited released the audio conversation between officials and the VAR after a request from Liverpool, but Jurgen Klopp said that had made little difference to their thinking. He said, "I think the only outcome should be a replay." Now, on Wednesday, Jurgen Klopp was asked many questions by journalists about the Tottenham Hotspur v Liverpool game. This is what he had to say.
Now that you've listened to the audio, you've seen exactly what happened. How's everyone feeling about Saturday?
The audio didn't change it at all. It was a mistake, an obvious mistake. And I think there would have been solutions for it afterwards. If not, and I can say immediately, even probably some people don't want me that to say, but not as a manager of Liverpool so much, more as a football person, I think the outcome should be a replay. That's how it is. Probably will not happen. The argument against that will probably be if we open that gate, then everybody will ask for it. I think the situation is that unprecedented that it didn't happen before, and I'm used to wrong decisions, difficult decisions, blah, 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 all these kind of things. But something like that, as far as I can remember, never happened. And that's why I think a replay would be the right thing. And against the argument would be if it would happen again, I think a replay would be the right thing to do, or the ref has the opportunity to bring both coaches together and say, sorry, we made a mistake.
Now, my thoughts on these stories in today's episode. Let's start by talking about Jurgen Klopp. Of course, most Spurs fans, including myself, I tell you what, if this game is going to be replayed, then I'm looking forward to the replay of the 2019 Champions League final. Get me back to Madrid and replay that game, because that decision in the first minute, that penalty, was absolutely atrocious and should never have been given. And of course, it ruined what could have been a very, very special day in the history of Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. But Jurgen Klopp demanding a replay in this Premier League game, oh, come on. It's never going to happen. I've read various reports in UEFA ruling. Perhaps they would have had a replay, but not the Premier League. He hasn't got a chance in hell of this game being replayed. Darren England keeping his job. He will not officiate any Liverpool games for the rest of the season. I think that is very, very wise. I spoke on the Spurs Chat podcast on Tuesday evening about the VAR audio. I must say, I thought it was terribly done. The lack of communication between those officials. I know everyone makes mistakes. You know, it's part of life. Everyone makes mistakes. Everyone makes errors. You know, you hold your hands up, you apologise and you move on. But such a simple error. All someone needed to say is, it is onside. It is offside. You know, it's as simple as that. The fact that it was just yes, no, and, you know, no one actually took control of that conversation. And the person that was actually trying to take control of the conversation was actually the operator, the video operator. He wasn't even named. We don't even know who this guy is or what his name is. VAR, assistant VAR, I think it was terribly done, and I think there is a lot of retraining to be done, because such a decision. I know, of course, I'm very happy that Spurs got the 3 points on Saturday, but, you know, karma, you know, things do come around. You know, what goes around comes around, and I think that we will probably be on the back end of one of these terrible decisions in the future. Of course, we've certainly been on the back end of some dreadful decisions in the past. You know, go back to, you know, last season, Liverpool beating us 4-3 after we came back from 3-0 down. It was 3-3. And then, of course, dying seconds, Jota put the ball in the net. And earlier on, Jota should have probably received a red card for his big stamp in the air on Skip. So, you know, we've been on the back end of some dreadful decisions, but VAR definitely needs more improvement, and certainly to communicate in better ways. Manor Solomon now out for 2 to 3 months. That is a big shame. You know, we've got a lot of injuries at the moment, and I am a little bit worried because, of course, we haven't got that much depth in this Tottenham Hotspur squad. It's all well and good, you know, playing these games, being unbeaten, but, you know, a few injuries to a few key players could be absolutely vital for us. Of course, we do then go into the international break after the Luton game that I spoke about. HeungMin Son and Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, you know, being called up for international duty, and many other players will, of course, be called up for international duty as well. I just worry about injuries, you know, certainly when these players go off on international duty. So hopefully, fingers crossed, Manor Solomon comes back as soon as possible. Wish him a speedy recovery, as do I, you know, with all the other players that are out injured at the moment. You know, speedy recovery for all of those, and hopefully that the players that do go off on international duty after the Luton game come back without any further injuries. Destiny Udogie saying that Ange shows us how to play and how to stay calm under pressure. Ange Postecoglou has been a breath of fresh air since he has walked through the door at Spurs. Absolutely brilliant. As I've spoken at length about this, you know, in the last couple of days, certainly the atmosphere at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium when we beat Liverpool, and even a couple of weeks ago when we beat Sheffield United, and even before that, the home game against Manchester United. The 3 home games in the Premier League so far, it has been like a party atmosphere. It's not just an atmosphere of fans singing. It has been like a party. It's been like a concert. The fans have absolutely loved it. Dancing, singing. The players just look like they're having an absolute ball. The players look so together. You know, even the players on the bench, you know, everyone's in this together, and everyone just looks like they want the same thing. And it is so refreshing to see. And everyone is raving about our manager. Of course, all the players are going to rave about our manager. They're not going to say anything bad against him, are they? But, I mean, everyone is raving about our manager. Even Arteta says he likes him. Even Klopp says, you know, he seems like a decent guy. You know, everyone loves Ange Postecoglou, and I absolutely love it. I'm loving this at the moment. But as I said earlier, injuries to key players, you know, could put a stop to, you know, some of our performances. Hopefully not. And hopefully we get the win against Luton on Saturday, go top of the Premier League table. Of course, Arsenal then face Manchester City. You never know what's going to happen in that game. And Spurs could go into the international break top of the Premier League table. Thanks for watching and thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're watching this on YouTube, please do hit that subscribe button, like, share and comment below. And if you're listening to this on an audio platform, please do hit that follow button and leave a review if you can. Keep smiling. Enjoy the rest of your week. I'll see you on the next one. Come on, you Spurs.